Sandamtod here, doing a little tag video for DavidLeeT about a gaming memory, maybe your greatest moment or your most memorable moment in your mind in your gaming life. And mine probably happened when I was in high school. I may have talked about this before, but I'm going to say it again because it's one of my favorites. I was in high school, and my buddy Kevin and I used to hang out almost every day, and we stayed at each other's house on the weekends and shit. We didn't have girlfriends or anything. I mean, we were like 13, 14, middle school, going into high school, freshman year, in between middle school and high school. And I was playing football, or gonna play football my freshman year, so I was doing conditioning camps, and we did 2-a-day practices. And so I would go over to his house in between practices because his house was closer than mine, and we'd hang out and stuff. And sometimes I'd stay the night at his house and then go to practice afterward. And that's how this kind of got started. I stayed at his house on an overnight, and we stayed up and pulled an all-nighter playing probably Ultimate Exodus. And I went to practice, and after the first practice, I was so damn tired because I didn't go to bed all night long that I decided to go home instead of going back by his house. And so I went on home and went to bed. Well, he woke up and I thought maybe I was still at football practice, so he borrowed a buddy of mine's bike down the street from him, and started riding up to the school. And he ended up getting hit by a car on this bike on the way up there, and none of us really knew about it till late that evening or the next day. So he ended up in the hospital with had to have a plate and some pins put in his ankle and stuff. It's pretty gnarly, but they put one of those big air boots on him, and he was laid up the whole summer. So the big joke was that it was my fault that he got hurt, because if I would have went back by his house, he wouldn't have went looking for me. So this is all lead into the story. Anyway, he's laid up for the summer, and I happened to be out and about shopping for my birthday, which was in the late June 28th, and he was looking for games to play and stuff, and I just so happened to see that Mega Man 2 had come out, and I called him and told him that I saw it up there, and he went and tried to have his mom rent it, and they couldn't get a copy of it because it was all rented out and stuff. So he convinced his mom to just go buy it, and I had called him that evening. The next day I went to practice, and I came back by his house and knocked on the door. He was on the couch. His room was in the basement, but with his broken leg, it was too hard for him to get up and downstairs, so he was staying on their couch, and he yelled for me to come in, so I came in, and he was at the end. He was on the final stage. I mean, that final stage is broken into about 6 levels. He had just reached the room where you fight all the different enemies, that you fight, one at a time in the game, and then you fight them all at the end. And I came in, and I was like, "You're already in the last stage," because I had played Mega Man 1, and I knew in that one you fought all the enemies at the end. And he's like, "Yeah, I played it all night, pretty much. I mean, I went to sleep for a little while because this has got a password, but I started playing this level this morning, and I think I'm at the end." And I was like, "Well, that's cool." I sat down and watched him, and he's kind of telling me, this gun works on this guy, and this, some different things. Back then I didn't give a shit about spoilers or not knowing stuff. It was like the more stuff I knew, the better. So I sat there eating it up, watched him play it. He beat the guys. He made it to Dr. Wily and his machine, and he started fighting him, and he died a few times and stuff. So he took a break, and he went to the bathroom and stuff, and I was sitting there, and another buddy of ours showed up Dave, and he came in and sat down, and we were talking about it, and you know, he watched him play it too, and he finally made it through the 8 guys and was fighting Wiley and beat Wiley, and he thought he had won, and then it drops you through the floor and you're into that next level, and he's like, you know, we were all kind of surprised that there was another level. You know, we thought that was the end. And then he proceeds to try to beat the end guy, and you know, we couldn't figure out what weapon was working and stuff. I mean, this went over 20-30 minutes. And then he finally was getting frustrated, but he didn't want to quit because he knew he's at the end guy. I kind of realized when I was watching it that the bubble thing is what was working on the guy, and I told him, you know, I think the bubble thing is what you need to use on him, and you know, he's like, God damn it, because that was the, you know, the shittiest weapon, really. I mean, it didn't go up in the air. I mean, the metal blade's the best weapon, really, and the bubble thing just kind of rolls on the ground, and so he was like, okay, so he's trying it, he gets him down, you know, about a third of the way, a couple times, dies. He gets pissed, so it says game over, so he's like, well, I'm hungry, you know, I'm hungry, I'm gonna make a bowl of cereal or whatever, and we're sitting there bullshitting, and I was like, you know, yelled into the kitchen at him, I go, can I give it a shot, you know, and he's like, yeah, sure, go ahead, whatever, you know, because he's not doing very well with it, and I think he figured that I wasn't gonna do anything with it, so he was like, here, go ahead, and I start playing it. First time I play it, I die pretty quick. Second man, I get him down a little over halfway. I mean, I probably it was close to having him almost 2/3 of the way down. And you know, Dave, he's like, "Oh, you did pretty good." You know, he's yelling in the kitchen. He's doing pretty good. He might get him, and and then he hears me die, and he kind of laughs in the kitchen and shit. And then third man. Start playing, and I kind of figured out that he was doing kind of a figure 8 type of pattern, and kind of figured it out and got in the groove and started playing him, and got him down about 3/4 of the way, still doing pretty good. And Dave starts yelling in the kitchen, he's gonna beat it, you know, and of course Kevin thinks we're just giving him shit, you know, and he's like, yeah, right, whatever. You know, and I'm watching it, and I'm getting him, and he goes, he's got to get him 2 more hits, you know, 1 hit, and sure as shit, I beat it, and you hear the thing explode, and then the little thing drops down on the floor, and Dr. Wiley kind of springs up out of the background and starts bowing and stuff, and when he heard that siren go off, and then that thing drop on the floor and explode, I've never seen a guy on a crutch, one crutch, drop the other one, and that moon boot thing come flying out of the kitchen, and just stood there and stared at the screen with his mouth hanging open, and looked right at me and said, "You fucking asshole!" And I couldn't help it. I was like, well, what do you expect? You said I could do it, and he's like, yeah, but I didn't think you'd fucking beat it. And I was like, yeah, well, I did. And he's like, well, you should, man. I was like, I was in the groove. I ain't gonna quit playing it or die on purpose because, you know, you said I could do it, you know. And he's like, well, you know how long it took me to get there? And I go, yeah, all night. You told me. You know, and he's like, well, you know, you shouldn't have done it. And I was like, well, it ain't that fucking hard. I said, give me the code to the final level, I'll get you back there in probably 20 minutes, and started laughing. And Dave thought it was funny as shit too, but we sat there and watched the ending, and he was pissed, he was. But we didn't immediately start playing that last level again. He started over and showed me some of the levels and stuff, but he was so pissed. And you know, I just thought it was hilarious that, you know, here's this game that's, you know, twice as big as the first game, you know, and I beat it. I beat the end guy before I'd played anything of the game at all, and it made the whole game seem kind of easier, I guess, than it really was. But Mega Man 2 is still probably my favorite Mega Man game. After about Mega Man 3 or maybe 4, I never really played them after that. I mean, I played Mega Man X on the Super Nintendo, but like anything after 4, like 5, 6, and then 7, and 8 that came out for the different systems, I never played them. But 2's probably my favorite, so anyway, that's my gaming memory. I've got a couple other ones. My Ninja Gaiden memory is pretty damn good. I've only beat that game once, and it's a hard effort. But I'm trying to think. I've got a couple other ones, but we'll save those for another day. This was a tag video, so I'm going to tag Ryan right now. If you got a gaming memory, buddy, let's throw it out there, and I'll tag Vidium. I don't know if Vidium's doing tag videos, but hey, I usually tag him. Why not? I'll tag the Alfred Effect. I'll tag him. I haven't tagged him in a while or mentioned his channel in a little bit, and that's good. We'll tag those 3 guys. I don't like to tag more than 2 or 3 guys because I don't want to ruin it for other people to be able to tag others. So I'm going to sign off. Thanks, everybody. This is a Warner, just a quick video on my ride to work this morning, because I filmed this last night and it was so shaky, and I cussed about 10 times as much in it for some reason, so I decided to refilm it. So signing off. Later. Bye.